Going to a barbecue place tomorrow. It'll allow me to momentarily sate my desire to sink my teeth into large chunks of flesh. Ayo? What do you mean, ayo? Sink teeth in what? Large chunks of flesh. You ever get that, like, desire in your jaw? I don't know how else to describe it, but like a thirst for flesh that exists in your teeth. Just a desire to bite meat, rip it apart. I'm not a vampire, by the way. By the way, I just want to say, nowhere in any of my, like, you know, briefs, I suppose, to Ghoul was the word vampire ever mentioned, or was a reference of a vampire ever included. But I turned out like this, and he looks great. There's some things I need to fix. That's it. I've been called a vampire in real life, mostly because I have pale skin and sharp teeth, and probably also the thing I mentioned the other stream about how I, like, move like a predator, not like, you know, a kidnapper. I mean like a panther. I think she just incorporated some of my natural vibes. I was thinking in the shower the other night, my hourly rate overall for streaming has been horrible. When I think about all the time I've put into streaming, I mean, I don't do this for money, obviously. I would have quit a long time ago if I was doing this for money. I do it because it's fun. But if I were thinking about it in terms of what how many hours have I streamed? I think it's a lot. Here, let me go to my analytics. Gotta ask, how did you learn rigging? I'll get to that in just a second. My brain is stuck on a division problem, and I need to resolve it. So it's this many dollars over this many hours. And this isn't even counting. Okay. So this isn't even counting the hours I've spent, like, working on stuff for stream, outside of stream. Anyway, all the technical tests, etc. That is time I've spent, but I can't quantify that. I don't know how much time I've spent, so I'm just going to use the time I've streamed. The money made on Twitch versus the time I've streamed, my average pay for the entirety of my streaming career would be 10 cents an hour. And by the way, this is absolutely not a you guys need to pay me more thing. No. This is just a I like numbers thing. And I wanted to see what the math worked out to. Oh, as for how I learned rigging, I thought I was gonna do my, like, you know, origin story again on my debut marathon, but I didn't. I forgot to do that. So I guess I'll do it. I'll make up for lost time. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning, so you can understand why I'm here at all. So I will answer your rigging question, but it'll also explain the origins of the anime boy you see before you. But if we really want to go back to the domino effect, it started because I watched Studio Ghibli movies when I was a kid. So I liked anime, and then, you know, I started watching FMAB, Naruto, started getting into anime. And then my I took Japanese lessons in middle school. And so I started, studying Japanese as a language. And I was like, I want to, learn story time. Yeah. I want to learn how to speak this because I was a nerd. I mean, I still am, just a different kind of one. And, I kept up my studies a little bit, not as, studious as I could have been. I'm nowhere near fluent. I haven't practiced a lot recently. I've described my level of familiarity with Japanese as, if someone was like, okay, we've booked you a trip to Japan, you leave next week. I could brush up enough to be, a functional tourist, right? I could have basic conversations. I could ask, where is the train station and stuff like that. Obviously, I would ideally have access to Google Maps and would know where the train station is from that, but anyway, so I did keep up my studies a bit in high school. Also, I made some, when I was younger, I made some content because I was a big fan of YouTube Let's Plays when I was little, when I was in 6th, 7th grade. Just a shit ton of Let's Plays. And part of that was because I didn't have my own computer. I didn't have an Xbox, didn't have a PlayStation. I had a Wii. I had a lot of fun on that Wii, but this isn't a woe is me, I had nothing, because I had stuff, but it's just my parents didn't want me doing that, I guess. So I watched a lot of Let's Plays, and I was like, I want to make content. But I was like, I can't. I don't have a computer. Can't do that. Anyway, so I got a computer in 8th grade. Started making some content. It was dog shit. And then a couple years later, I started doing some live streams. Started doing some edits. I had a small following. Not really anything crazy. I made some videos that I thought were funny. I watched through them recently because I still have most of them. I kept all of the good edits, except for one which I accidentally deleted. But they're privated on my YouTube account, and none of you will ever see them. Nobody else will ever see them. Anyway, so that is to say, I did do some content creation for a while as a hobby, and it was something I wanted to turn into a career, a means of earning revenue. Fast forward a bit, right? I kind of put that down for a bit, and then I'm in my college dorm. It's during COVID. I started watching clips of Japanese VTubers because I wanted. I was like, oh, I should keep up with my Japanese studies, and so these are funny bits online where people are just talking in Japanese, right? And they're talking about stuff I understand. They're talking about video games and shit like that. So I started watching that, and then eventually I was like, I kind of miss making stuff. I kind of miss streaming and whatnot. I should get back on that. And I didn't want to show my face, not because I think I'm ugly or anything. Quite the opposite, actually. But I just, privacy reasons. So I was like, if I could get a VTuber model, that would be cool. Then I could stream as a VTuber. And then I went up to Ghoul, who I know in real life, and at the time did not know the name of, the internet name of. I was like, hey, do you could you maybe do this? Is this possible, hypothetically? And in the meantime, I was learning, trying to teach myself Live 2D, because I was like, I have no money. If I want to do this, I can't draw. I can't draw. I will not be able to get, even if I really double down, I will not be able to get my art skills to a point that I believe is presentable in any reasonable time frame. Right. But Live 2D, this technical puppet animation, oh, I can do that. I can figure out how to do that. So, I figured out how to do that. I watched as many tutorials as I could find. A lot of them were either hyper-specific, which was helpful for things like the mouth or the eyebrows, and a lot of them were very basic, like very introductory stuff, like how to set up a keyform, how to make a deformer, how to deform something. It was useful information, but it was most of the stuff was very beginner focused, and really just not a lot available that I could find at that time. After that, I know the landscape has changed since. I know there are quite a few more available resources, but I ended up finding a really there's a really good rigger by the name of Brian, works for a group called Iron Vertex. He is amazing, and he uploaded it was like, I don't know, a full like 28-30 hours workflow. And so I had learned the very basics of like how to operate the program, but I did not know any of the other shit. So I buckled down and watched 28 hours of tutorials well, not even tutorials, of silent workflow. And I watched a lot of those parts multiple times because I was trying to understand what the fuck he just did. And yeah, that's how I taught myself how to rig. I mean, you know, I've stapled on some new skills from new tutorials, gathering shit from other riggers and whatnot. But yeah, in terms of the most like shortest direct answer is I watched a professional work for an extended period of time, and I just copied whatever they did. That's a lot of my strategy, you know, is I make imperfect copies. Stage one is to make an imperfect copy. Or I attempt to make a perfect copy, but I can't. So you make an imperfect copy. And then I iterate on my copy. So once I've finished, you know, the first attempt at making a copy, the reference point is no longer what I'm imitating. The reference point is now my thing. So I, you know, improve on that, and eventually it mutates into... I don't think I have a particular style. I don't think I'm good enough to have a particular style, but it'll approach that eventually. Anyway, does that answer your question?